This one is a story about love, tears, and everything in between. So, my paddies, grab your chin chin, and relax. This one is gonna be a roller coaster of emotions, but you're gonna enjoy it. Let's dive right in. A long, long time ago, in Nsukka town, there lived a young woman named Amara. She was only 19 and was studying law at the University of Nigeria. Amara was the kind of girl everyone liked. She was always smiling and always talking. Her jokes could make even a tired lecturer laugh. One day, while she was rushing to class, she met Chibuike, a final year engineering student. He was 24 years old, tall, dark, handsome, and calm like early morning water. He spoke gently and always carried a drawing book under his arm. From their first meeting, Amara liked him. And not long after, they became friends. Then friends turned to lovers. And soon, everyone on campus knew them. People started calling them husband and wife of UNN. Some hostel girls would say, "Ah, see love, oh God, when? If I'm a lion, let me roar freely in the wilderness." Amara would laugh shyly and hide her face. Well, my parties, let me gist you a little bit about their love. You see, Chibuike loved simple things. He would buy Amara roasted corn and coconuts or ube during evening walks. He helped her fix her laptop when it spoiled. He helped her carry her heavy law books and even taught her how to solve small engineering mathematics just for fun. Sometimes in the night, they would sit under the big mango tree beside the Faculty of Arts. That was their special place. They would eat popcorn or puff-puff or corn while planning their future. Chibuike would say, "Amarachi, see, one day I will build you a house. We will paint it blue and you will plant flowers in front of it. Aww, and we'll have two children," Amara would add, smiling. "A boy and a girl. No, two girls first though, so that they can look as beautiful as their mother and so that they will help out a bit when their brother comes later on." And they would both laugh until mosquitoes chased them away. Everyone admired their love. It was real, young, and peaceful. When Chibuike finished school, he moved to Enugu town to look for work. It was not easy. Some days he ate only bread and sachet water or drank garri without sugar, but he never gave up. He finally found a job at a construction company and slowly began to stand on his feet. A few years passed and Amara finished school as well. So on one weekend though, he came to visit and it was such a joyful reunion, and Chibuike didn't hesitate to make it a memorable one. He took her back to that same mango tree where they used to sit early on in their relationship. And there, he knelt down with a small ring and said, "Amara, you have been my best friend and my peace all these years, and I would love to spend my entire life with you. Will you please be my wife?" Amara's eyes filled with tears. She covered her face and nodded. "Yes, yes, my engineer, I will marry you." It was a simple moment, but their hearts were full. Even the mango tree seemed to clap for them, and their friends were so happy for them. Soon after, Amara took Chibuike home to meet her family. Her mother, Mama Ngozi, was happy. She hugged him and said, "My son, Mom, you are welcome. I have been hearing your name like good news from my daughter's mouth all these years. It's a good thing you decided to do the right thing. You are a good man. God bless you." But my paddies, Amara's father, Indaboski, Chief Madrabuchi was his name. He wasn't smiling, no. He sat in his big chair, eyeing Chibuike with his reading glasses up and down, studying him from head to toe like an exam paper. "Young man," he began, "what do your people do?" Chibuike answered politely and gently, We are teachers, sir. My father teaches mathematics at St. John's College. I teach part-time as well in a private university in Enugu, but I mostly work in a construction site. The man hissed and said, "So my daughter wants to marry the son of a teacher. Ordinary teacher." Mama Ngozi tried to stop her husband immediately. "Hey, Nai, leave that matter now. The boy looks responsible. Besides, teachers are good people, well disciplined." "Ah, Michono, keep quiet," Chief Madabuchi snapped. "Do you know how I suffered to train Amara from preschool all the way to the university? And now she wants to marry a man without class. You want her to go and be suffering in her husband's house. You want her to bring shame to this family." Amara knelt down and pleaded with her dad. "Daddy, please don't talk like that now. I love him and I promise you he's a good man." But Chief ignored her and said, "Love, love, love. Nye, nye, nye. Now love una go chop. When hunger comes now, love will develop legs and run away like Jet Li." Chai, Amara couldn't hold back her tears anymore. "Daddy, if hunger comes, we will eat it together and flush it down with chilled cold water." But after all said and done, Chief blatantly refused to bless the marriage. Weeks passed and Amara kept begging her father, but he wouldn't agree. The man too stubborn like he-goat. He said he would rather die than allow her to marry that boy. But as God may have it, at last, Amara and Chibuike got married quietly in court, ignoring the stubborn dad. It was a small court wedding. A few friends came and Mama Ngozi attended secretly. Amara's father, though, did not show up. But later on, when he learnt about it, he shouted. He was furious. "So that boy stole my daughter and married her without doing traditional rites and giving me her bride price. Allo, abomination. Fear!" I said it. I said that boy is a nincompoop. "Bia, Mama Ngozi, you better tell your daughter to tell that boy to bring his people and do the right thing. If not, he will see a very wrong side of me. Go and ask her." On hearing this, Amara was happy. So they planned and set a date for the traditional marriage, and they made it happen. After the wedding, when everyone had gone, Chief Madabuchi sat alone on his veranda. Watching the sunset, he said to himself, "We shall see, oh, we shall see how long this their love will last. When hunger enter the same pot with pride, the soup must surely spoil now. Are they here? We shall see." He sipped his palm wine and shook his head slowly. Soon after, Amara joined Chibuike in Enugu to start their new life together. They rented a small one-bedroom flat in a quiet street. The house was not all that fine, but it was neat, and it was their own. The walls were cream. They bought a sky blue curtain and small white flowers for decoration. The rent was small, and so was their pocket. But their laughter filled every corner of the house. And that was enough. In the morning, Chibuike would wake up early, iron his shirt, and sing old high life songs with a cracked toad voice. "My sweet Amara, my sugar banana," he would sing, dancing around with pressing iron in his hand. Amara would laugh from the kitchen. "Engineer, if you burn that shirt, don't come near me, oh. We are not buying another one, no." He would laugh and salute her with the iron like a soldier. "Yes, Madam Lawyer." By the time he left for work, Amara would already be planning lunch. Their food was never much, but she cooked with joy. Sometimes it was a goosey with more water than meat, but they ate it happily. At night, when light came, they would sit on the floor and eat together. Chibuike would feed her playfully with his spoon. "Oya, open your mouth, my baby lawyer." "Go away, Joe. Don't feed me like a baby." "Ah, but you're my baby lawyer now. Oya, oya, take it." And both of them would burst into laughter like small children. A year later, Amara gave birth to their first daughter, Obianuju, and soon after, she dropped another baby girl like an album. Chisom was her name. Their home became livelier. Chibuike would carry one baby on his shoulder and dance around the sitting room while the other one crawled behind him. See me oh, fine man, father of girls. God is too good. Chukwu Dalo, he would say proudly. Amara would smile and say, yes now, fine girl like their mother. Sometimes, when the rain started at night, they would lie down close to each other and talk quietly. Amara would say, I wish Daddy would see how happy we are. Maybe his heart would soften. Chibuike would hold her hand gently and say, don't worry, one day he will come around. You know time changes people. But somehow deep down, they both knew Chief Maduabuchi was still angry somewhere in Nsukka, probably shaking his head and calling her stubborn. But you see Mama Ngozi, Amara's mother, Chai, that woman never stopped caring for her daughter. She would send her dry fish, gari, palm oil through bus. Sometimes she would call her and whisper, my daughter, I sent small beans and pepper through that Pismas driver. Don't tell your father, he will start shouting again. Amara would smile with gratitude and say, Mama, thank you. God bless your big heart. It's not big heart, my dear. It's the heart of a mother that wants peace and happiness for her children. Ngwanu, take care of your home, bye. That became their little secret. And life continued that way, small, peaceful, and full of jokes, until a storm came knocking right at their front door. Later on that year, when school went on holiday, Amara's younger sister, Ngozi, came to spend 2 weeks with her in Enugu. Ngozi was the kind of last born that made parents say, this one came when we were tired. We didn't have energy to discipline her like the others. She was full of noise, full of drama, and full of herself. The first morning she arrived, she came down from the bus with her phone already recording a TikTok video. My people, see me I don't land Enugu like this. The city of fine boys and roasted corn. The bus driver smiled a little, but Amara shook her head. Ngozi, so you can never enter anywhere quietly. You must show yourself. Sister Amara, I beg, must life be that serious? Is this how you are living here? No wonder you look older than your age. Chibuike smiled politely. Ngozi, welcome. Drop your bag. You must be tired. Yes, engineer sir, she replied, rolling her eyes. You still talk like you're addressing a class. Amara glared at her. Will you behave yourself in my husband's house? Sorry Mao, I was just joking. That night, Amara made rice and stew, and everyone sat together to eat. But then, Ngozi started picking out onions from her food. Chai, Sister Amara, so you still cook with these big onions? This is village style cooking. Chibuike laughed softly. Ngozi, eat it like that. Onions is good for the body. Uncle, I don't like it. Do you also eat onions in your office? Ngozi, Amara shouted. If you don't eat it, leave it now. Nobody forced you. Sister, you have changed though. Marriage has turned you into a very stiff lioness. Ogini. Amara ignored her, but she gave Chibuike a look that said, you see what I told you. For the first few days, things went smoothly. Ngozi helped with small chores and even played with the children. But one morning, she decided to watch a movie on Chibuike's work laptop, just because she saw it open and there wasn't a password. She didn't know the laptop had all his company's files. When Chibuike came home from work that evening, he tried to open a file and saw that everything was gone. His face changed immediately. Ngozi! Where is Ngozi? He shouted. She came out from the room, still holding her phone. Uncle, what is it? Ngozi, what did you open on my laptop? What did you do with my laptop? Movie now. Just one small romantic movie. Nothing major. Chibike was angry. His chest was rising and falling at this point. How many times have I told you not to touch my system? Why don't you ever listen? You're too everywhere. His voice was firm, but he didn't go further than that. He just scolded her like a teacher would scold a stubborn student. Ngozi's mouth opened in shock. You're shouting at me? Me? In front of my sister? Ngozi, I did not shout. I'm just upset because you spoiled my work and you're not even apologizing for it. So I'm stupid now. You're calling me foolish, Abi? Before anyone could say anything, Ngozi started crying. She went inside, packed her bags, and with tears, she ran outside shouting, I can't stay here. Sister Amara, your husband insulted me and reprimanded me like a child. I'm going back to my father's house. Amara was taken aback by her actions, but she decided to chase after her immediately. Ngozi, wait now. Why are you being overly dramatic? He didn't insult you. He was just laptop wahala and he was pissed. He has every right to be pissed. Please come inside. Let's talk about it. But she didn't listen. No. She entered the next bus, fiam, going to Soka that night. When she reached home, she met her father, Chief Madrabuchi, sitting outside as usual, reading newspaper. Ngozi, my daughter, why did you decide to come back by this time of the night? And if I could recall, you planned to stay longer. What happened? Ogini? Ngozi wiped her fake tears with her handkerchief and said, Daddy, this your son-in-law has insulted me. This man insulted me and insulted you, Daddy. What? He shouted at me. He said you raised mannerless children. The old man dropped his paper slowly and repeated, he said what? Yes, so in front of my sister. In fact, in front of the whole neighborhood. Everybody heard it. He called me useless. He said all of us are badly trained by our father. What did you just say? He opened his rotten mouth that he uses to drink garri and insulted me in public. Mwah! Chief Madrabuchi. Hey! He will see fire. I will show him the meaning of respect. Then he started pacing up and down. Hey! Wonder shall never end. So that teacher's son, what teacher, now has the mouth to talk about me and my family. I knew it. I said it. I knew that boy was bad news from the very first day I saw him. Mama Ngozi came out, wiping her hands on her wrapper. What is it again, Nai? Ask your daughter, the man shouted. That your precious in-law has insulted a whole chief. I'm going to Enugu tomorrow. In fact, it's like I'll go this night. No, let me leave it tomorrow morning. Mama Ngozi tried to calm him down. Please, my husband, Nai, don't make trouble. Let's ask Amara first before jumping to fight. Woman, shut up your mouth. You and that your Amara are the reason I don't have peace in my own house. I said I'm going to Enugu tomorrow morning and nothing will stop me. He entered the room angrily, still talking to himself. So, ordinary Nwa teacher, a teacher's son will open his mouth to insult a whole Chief Madrabuchi. He will know that some fathers don't play with their names, especially the ones that built something with their names. Ngozi smiled to herself as she went inside the house. Interestingly, her plan had worked way better than she thought. Early pai the next morning, before the birds even started singing, Chief Madrabuchi had already worn his starched abada and put on his red cap. His eyes were red with anger, and his voice was already loud before he left the house. Today, that so-called engineer will know who I am, he said, putting on his slippers. Nobody insults Chief Madrabuchi and sleeps well at night. Mama Ngozi tried to stop him again. Nai, my husband, calm down. At least eat breakfast first, eh? Let something be in your stomach. Maybe you will have a rethink then. Eat breakfast. When that small rat is raining insults on a chief like me. Mbano, today I will show him what a mannerless man can do. Then he went ahead to call 3 of his kingsmen, Uncle Ifani, Uncle Uche, and one other old man that never minded his business, called Imaopa. The men followed him, shaking their heads. Chief, calm down small, Uncle Ifani said. These things need patience. It's not by bim bim bim. Patience? If you were insulted by a teacher's son, your in-law, would you be patient? Chief Madrabuchi backed. By the time they reached Enugu, Chibike was just getting ready for work. Amara was frying plantain in the kitchen when suddenly she heard loud voices outside. She ran out, and to her greatest shock, she saw her father and uncles. They were standing right in the middle of the sitting room doorway, like a hurricane, his abada almost touching the floor. Amara! He thundered. Where is that your useless husband? Chibike came out slowly, squinting his eyes in surprise. Good morning, sir. Don't greet me! I warned you. I told you you have no respect. You shouted at my daughter Ngozi, and you insulted me behind my back? Sir, wow, I never insulted you. This is definitely a misunderstanding. Shut up there! You are even calling me a liar to my face. You have crossed the line. I knew it from day one that you are trouble. If there is one thing I do not swallow in this life, it is defamation. And that is exactly what you have done. You rained abuses on me in public. So here is my verdict. From today, you are not my in-law again. This is not a trick, I'm not playing. I don't take back my words. So believe me when I say, you don't mean anything to me anymore. Next, like play, he slapped a thick envelope on the dining table. Here is your bride price. Take it. I have ended this marriage. You and my daughter are done. Amara's mouth dropped open. Jesus, you don't mean that, Daddy. You can't be serious. Chibike could not talk. He was still in shock as to how fast things were happening. Was it still because he told Ngozi not to touch his laptop? Or was there an underlying issue that he didn't know about? He simply stood there frozen. Then Amara ran back to her dad and held him by the shirt. Daddy, please, this is outrageous. Please don't do this. You're destroying my home. Daddy, think about this. Her father folded his arms and said, Your home? Which home? You mean this rented hole where you can barely breathe and feed well? Chibike had recovered a bit, so he tried to explain again. Sir, please calm down. It was a small issue. Ngozi used my work laptop and don't mention her name. Chief Madrabuchi shouted, pointing at him. You have no right to correct any child of mine. If she breaks your chair, you kneel down and thank her. That is how to respect your in-laws. Uncle Ifeanyi coughed and whispered, Chief, it's too early for shouting. Let us sit down and discuss this matter. I said no. Let them take their money. I, Chief Madrabuchi, is not doing again. I have spoken. Amara fell to her knees and with serious tears she said, Daddy, please, you raised me to be patient, to love, to forgive. Please don't let pride scatter the family I am building. This is my entire world now. Chief Madrabuchi turned his face away. If you like, cry from here to Nsukka. I will not hear. The money has been returned. And that's it. Tradition is tradition. Everywhere became quiet. Even the wall clock sounded louder. Chibike looked at the envelope and then at his wife. And then he said, Amara, stand up. You have begged enough. That's okay. He said softly. No, let me beg him, she cried. He is my father. But Chibike bent down and lifted her up slowly. Well, if a father truly loves his daughter, he won't use tradition and ego to destroy her home and her peace. Chief Maduabuchi laughed bitterly. Engineer, I hope you know how to cook because you will soon be cooking and feeding yourself alone. Uncle Imoba, who had been quiet all this while, decided to add salt. Chief, please let us not do something we will regret. Maybe we should all sit down, have some breakfast, that fried plantain, with the family and talk things out. Everything will be better. Chief glared at him with irritation and said, Bia, Imoba, have you seen the reason I don't invite you to serious things? All you know is food. Food, food, food. If you're hungry, I will buy you 5 plates when we get to Soka. I beg. Then he turned to Chibike one last time and said with finality, From today, you are a stranger to this family. The next time I hear your name, it will be from the town crier. He then marched out with his men and his abada sweeping the floor. Amara couldn't stop crying. She was hurting really badly. She couldn't understand why her own father would choose to hurt her this much, to break her heart. Chibike picked up the envelope from the table slowly, looking blank and lost. After that day, everything changed. Days passed, weeks passed, and Amara's father did not for one day pick up his phone to call her. In fact, he didn't even pick her calls at all. When she called her mother, the woman would whisper gently, My daughter, I am sorry. Your father is still angry. His mouth is as bitter as bitter leaf. But Mama, what did we do? I am still very much shocked and confused at the same time. Everything happened so fast. My dear, you didn't do anything, no. But you know your father and pride are twins. He said you brought shame to his household by not even listening to him when he warned you against going ahead with the marriage. Amara would hang up and sit quietly for hours, moping. Her husband Chibike was changing as well. The man who once sang songs while ironing his shirt now ironed it in silence. The man who used to laugh when she burnt rice now just stared at the pot like it had offended his ancestors. At first, Amara tried to make him happy. Oh, she tried. Engineer, your food is ready, oh, she would shout playfully. All right, he would answer coldly without even looking up. She would still bring his food and smile and tease him. You better eat it before he runs away, oh. He will manage and smile a little, then eat a little and walk away. He doesn't joke around. He doesn't laugh anymore. He doesn't even play with his kids as he usually did. He was just not the same person. So, one day, his friend Eze came to visit. Eze was the type of friend that always had something to say about everything. He never finished school, but he spoke as if he built the university all by himself. He sat down, crossed his legs and began. Guy, I no like as you take quiet, Baba. You just dey mope like a Gambia. See, this your matter, e don pass love, oh. Which matter? Chibike asked. Your wife's people don't return your bride price, Abi? My brother, wake up. Tradition does not lie, oh. The truth of the matter be say, you are living with another man's child, not your wife. Chibike sighed, feeling really exhausted. Eze, it's not that simple. She's still my wife, and the mother of my 2 girls. Which wife? The one wey her papa don collect back? You want elders to laugh at you? You want people to say Engineer Chibuike dey marry woman wey no belong to am? Ha! My guy, without bride price, you are very much single oh. Amara was in the kitchen, but she heard everything. She felt her chest tightening and she struggled to breathe well. After Eze left, she came out quietly. So now, I'm another man's daughter and not your wife, Abi? She asked softly. Amara, please, don't start. No, tell me, is this what you think about me too? I didn't say that. But you didn't defend me either. You stayed and you let him whitewash you. He said nothing. He just looked at the floor and sighed. And let me tell you, my paddies, that silence, it hurts more than a slap. It's better to argue sometimes than to keep quiet on a woman, especially when she's in this mood. That one dey pain. Dey pain. Anyway, back to the story. From that day, things got way worse. Chibuike became very cold and very distant. He stopped talking about his day. He started staying longer at work. Sometimes he would not even come home until late night. When he eventually came back, Amara would have set the table, waiting patiently for him. Welcome, she would say softly. He would reply and walk to the room, without even bothering to touch his food. So one night, rain was falling heavily. Thunder was shouting like village drummers. Amara was sitting on the bed, waiting for him to come in from the sitting room, but he seemed lost in thoughts. She then called out gently, Chibuike, please come to the bed. It's already late. He now came in and he lay down at the edge of the bed without saying a word. Amara moved closer and placed her hand on his shoulder. Please, talk to me, she whispered. What do you want me to say, Amara? Tell me we are still fine. Tell me you still love me. Chibuike turned and looked at her with weak eyes. Amara, how do I love a woman who is no longer mine in the eyes of her people? Amara's heart dropped like a carton of tin tomatoes. She started crying quietly. So all our years together mean nothing to you? Don't twist my words, Amara. I'm just saying, this marriage, it's no longer the same. Then make it the same. We can fight for it together. I am here with you. That's the thing, Amara. I'm tired of fighting. And with those last words, he turned his back to her. From that night, they hardly spoke again. They started living like flatmates. Rumor began to spread in the neighborhood. Their neighbors started talking. They said Amara's father collected her back, that he returned the complete bride price and even added Jara. So she's just staying there for free. Hey, some women don't have shame, living with a man that is no longer your husband. It was so bad that Amara stopped going to church with him because she couldn't stand the stairs. This continued for a few more months. Then another evening, the rain started again. Amara sat at the edge of the bed while Chibuike was by the window, watching the rain slide down the glass. The room was a bit dark, and they just stayed there. For a long time, nobody said anything. Only the sound of the rain filled the space and silence between them. Finally, Amara spoke softly. Chibuike, how did we get here? You used to laugh when I burnt food. You used to call me your peace. We used to be so happy. What happened to us? He sighed, but still said nothing. She stood up and moved closer. Please talk to me. Even if you're angry, say something. I'm your wife, not a stranger. He then rubbed his face with his palm and began. Amara, I don't know what to say anymore. I've tried to convince myself that everything is fine, but it's not. Something broke. and I don't know how to fix it. Then let's fix it together, she said quickly. Forget my father. Forget what people are saying. We can build again. Please. He shook his head slowly. You can't build a house when the foundation is gone. They returned your bride price, right? Amara, do you understand what that means? I'm sure you do. And even if I love you, the foundation of this marriage has been dug out and thrown away in the bin. At this point, her eyes were filled with tears. So you are letting pride and ego win? After everything we shared, after all our dreams, after we had 2 children together. It's not pride, Ami, he said quietly. It's the truth. This isn't a marriage anymore. This is just 2 people pretending to still be one. Wow. Pretending. That's a pure classic, Chibuike. This is my home, for goodness sake. You are my husband. Our children are sleeping in that room. Is that what you call pretending? Chibuike sighed and turned away. I'm really tired, Amara. I'm tired of fighting your people. I'm tired of fighting the world. I'm tired of pretending we are still happy. Every time I look at you, I remember the shame your father threw at me. I remember the money he dropped on the table. It's killed something inside of me. I've tried, but the love is not breathing anymore. Ha! Amara wiped her tears and managed to continue. Then say it clearly, she whispered. Say you don't want me anymore. Chibuike closed his eyes for a while. Then he spoke slowly. I'm sorry, but I don't want this anymore. I don't want us to keep pretending. It's not helping either of us. Bagam! For a moment, time stopped. The only sound left was the rain hitting the roof. Amara stood there, staring at him like a stranger. Her lips trembled, but she didn't speak. She turned to the window, looked at the dark sky, and whispered to herself, so this is how forever ends. And my people, that night, they served Amara hot breakfasts at dinner, which left both of their hearts shattered. The next morning was quiet and cold. Amara folded her daughter's small dresses one by one. She did it slowly, with tears in her eyes, but no sound came out. The once lively home that used to smell of baby powder and happiness now felt like a graveyard. Little Chisom, her younger daughter, tugged at her wrapper. Mommy, are we going on holiday? Amara forced a little smile and said, yes, baby, a very long holiday. Obianuju, the older one, stood by the door holding her doll. Will daddy come with us? She asked. Amara's hand froze. Her throat felt very dry, but she managed to say, no, my love, daddy will come later. Outside, thunder rumbled in the distance. Rain was threatening to fall again, just like the night their love broke into pieces. Chibuike stood by the window, looking out. His face was blank. There was no emotion and definitely no tears. Just plain blank. Amara zipped the last of the bag, then turned to him with a calm voice. Chibuike, you promised me forever under that mango tree, but forever ended with your friend when he started whispering things in your ear. You made it clear that there is nothing left for me or my kids here, so we won't stay. We're going to leave. He didn't turn, he didn't say a word, and yet again, his silence was louder than any insult. She looked at him for a long moment, maybe waiting for him to change his mind, maybe waiting for him to say one last I'm sorry, but nothing came. So she carried her daughters, opened the door, and stepped out into the rain. Goodbye, Chibuike, and no thanks for not fighting for us. At the gate, a cab was waiting already for them. And just then, her mother's call came in. Amara picked up. Aminwa, her mother cried. Please don't go like this. Don't walk away. Come back home and let us talk to your father again. Maybe things can still change. Amara looked at her children, then at the road ahead, and then she said with so much sadness in her voice, Mama, tell Daddy congratulations. He finally got what he wanted. I hope he's happy now. And then she ended the call immediately before her mother could even speak again. Meanwhile, back in Nsukka, Chief sat on his veranda, holding a cup of palm wine. He smiled faintly, proud and stubborn as always. Yes, I have saved my daughter from a wrong man. That's my job, he muttered. But something strange happened. Almost immediately, a loud thunder struck again. Next, a strong wind started blowing. And then his cup slipped from his hand, spilling palm wine on the floor. He looked around, confused, and then he felt something moving around in his chest. He placed his hand to feel his chest and noticed that something didn't feel right. He turned his head, and for a moment, he thought he saw Amara's shadow in the rain, standing by the gate and watching him. He blinked and looked again, but he saw nothing there. He rubbed his eyes and whispered, Ah, now wow, maybe it's just in my head then. But the strange feeling did not stop. In fact, his heart began to beat faster and his breathing heightened. He saw another flash of Amara, and this time he heard a voice. He placed his hand on his chest. A strange coldness spread through him. He looked around the compound with wide eyes and whispered, Who is there? There was no answer. In that moment, he felt as if someone was standing behind him, breathing softly. He turned quickly. Nothing. He laughed nervously. Hey, old age, I'm only imagining things, he said to himself. But when he bent down to pick the broken cup, a faint voice echoed in the wind, soft, distant, yet very clear. You destroyed what I built. Chief Madabuchi froze, and the voice faded immediately. Then he looked up and said with fake confidence, Who said that?